Kami ba malakas ang hanap nyo? Bilhin nyo na to!
Oh, mahilig ka ba sa kape? Bilhin niyo na to, guys! Oh!
Ayun na nga sinasabi ko sa inyo, pamalakas ang kape ba ang hinahanap nyo? Bilhin nyo na to!
Ang susunod na programa ay rated PG. Patnubay at gabay ng magulang ay kailangan sa mga batang manonood.
O ano, saan, sino, bakit, sa paanong paraan? Minsan, ang swerte mo nasa paligid lang. Ang buhay ay ganyan. Nasa palad mo ang pagbabago ng takbo. At walang mangyayari kung hindi mo susubukan. Magbukas ka ng isipan, kahit talo may natututunan. Di mo lang alam at di mo maintindihan. Lahat ng nangyayari sa buhay natin ay may kanya-kanyang dahilan.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, pa.
Morning na.
Morning, Nak. Kain ka na doon. Nauna na kami ng tatay mo.
Okay, sige po. Kain po muna ako. Ma, ang sarap talaga ng luto mo, no? Sa tingin ko, pwede na tayo magtayo ng catering services.
Magandang idea nga yan, Nak. Pero, paano naman tayo magsisimula?
Siguro, mag-ipon muna ako galing sa sahod ko. At saka syempre, isipin muna natin yung mga materials na kailangan natin. Yung mga recipe mo. At saka kung magkano natin ibebenta yung mga produkto natin.
Kaya nga, price is very important sa paglalunch ng bagong business. Siyempre, kapag sobrang taas ng mga price na isiset natin, pwedeng walang bumali. Bababa nun yung sales natin. Kapag naman sobrang baba ng mga prices, pwedeng madaming ang bumili, pero malulugi naman tayo. Kaya price is very important.
Sabagay, sabi nga nila, price is given up in exchange to acquire goods. Everything has a price.
Kapag naging successful yung business natin, pwede natin gamitin yung mga revenue pandagdag sa pagpapagawa ng bahay. O kaya naman, pwede natin invest sa iba pang bagay.
Na hindi pa natin magagamit yung revenue. Kasi yung revenue, nandun pa lahat ng expenses, ng mga costs na ginamit natin dun sa pag-create natin ng product. Revenue is price multiplied by the numbers of units sold.
Nak, baka ang ibig mo sabihin, profit. Kasi ang profit, yun na yung pinakakita natin sa business. Nabawas na yung mga nagastos, kaya purong kita na lang.
Tama. Siyempre, kailangan din natin makapag-set ng mga pricing objectives kapag nagsistart na tayo sa business natin na catering services. These are the goals that guide a company para makapag-set ng price ang isang produkto or serbisyo. The primary objectives focuses on maximizing the profit of a company, satisfactory level of profit, or meron man return on investments. Dito pumapasok yung sales-oriented pricing, which focuses on achieving a certain level of sales.
Ano yung return of investment?
Return on investment, ito yung total profit or pinaka-profit pagkatapos i-divide ng mga taxes sa total assets mo.
Kaya ano naman ng market share?
Ang market share naman refers to the percentage of the total sales ng isang particular market that a company holds. Kaya napaka-importante ng pricing sa isang product o service sa market. Siyempre, dito magbe-base yung mga customers mo kung bibili ba sila or affordable ba yung ina-offer mo sa market. Sa katagalan, need mong mag-maintain ng price or ma-meet man lang yung offer ng mga competitors mo. Ito yung tinatawag nilang status quo pricing. Need mong malaman kung anong ina-offer nila para makapag-compete ka din sa market. Sabi ko nga kanina, kapag sobrang taas ng price mo, walang bibili sa'yo. Kapag sobrang baba naman, pwede kang malugi. Kaya dapat you have the ability to change the price quickly. Ito ang tinatawag nilang dynamic pricing. Pero habang nagsistart at nagpa-plan pa lang tayo, di natin gumamit ng yield management system. Ang yield management system ay ang paggamit ng complex mathematical software to scale unused capacity by discounting early purchases. Yung dynamic pricing at yield management system ay mga teknik o mga sikreto ng mga businesses para makapag-raise ng revenue at para makasurvive sa market.
Ang dami naman po palang dapat i-consider sa pag-start ng business. Price pa lang yan, pero ang dami nyo na pong sinabi.
Hindi ko maliit niya, Nak.
Oo nga pala, Nak. Di ba nagtatrabaho ka? Ba't nandito ka pa?
Opo, malilito po pala ako. Sige po,
Ah, sige na, sige na. Bye!
Hoy, Mare, parang ang dami mong iniisip. Tumatanda at pumapangit ka na.
Ko, sobra. Nagbabala kaya silang bumuo ng business.
O, alam mo ba, paano simulan yan? Anong gagawin nyo?
Ko, yun na nga. Sa gagamitin pa lang. Wala nang alam.
Ay, alam mo ba, si Berna, yung mga tinda niyang kakanin doon, ang mahal, pero sa tindahan ang mura lang.
Siyempre, kailangan nila ng markup pricing. Yung variable cost ba, tsaka fixed cost, alam mo.
Ano na naman yung markup at fixed variable na yan?
Alam mo, Mare, ganito kasi yan. Dito na pumapasok yung markup pricing. Ito yung cost ng isang product mula sa producer plus yung amount na kikitain ng nagbebenta or yung expenses na hindi nabibilang. Yung variable cost at fixed cost, alam mo ba?
Yun na nga, Mark. Hindi ko nga alam yun. Ano ba yung mga
Ang
pinagsasabi
variable
mo?
cost nga kasi, yun yung expenses that change with the level of production or sales. Katulad ng mga raw materials na ginamit natin and yung labor cost na pinaghirapan natin. At yung fixed cost naman, ito yung expenses na nagstay the same regardless sa production ng levels. Katulad ng mga renta o sahod ng mga employees mo.
Ah, ganun pala yon. Bakit yung iba binibili ng 100 tapos ibebenta ng 200? Di parang ang unfair naman nun.
Ay naku Mars, yun yung tinatawag nilang keystoning. Ito yung pag-markup ng 100% na doble dun sa presyo. O syempre, lahat din naman dun dumadaan sa break-even analysis. Ito yung pag-determine kung magkano ibebenta yung product natin. Ito din yung ginagamit nating reference point sa pag-adjust ng price. Kaya intindihin mo na din yung mga nagbebenta o nagtatayo ng business. Siyempre, kailangan nilang kumita kaya mahirap din yung sitwasyon nila sa pagsiset up ng price. Yung iba nga, binababaan nila yung presyo nila para madami yung bumili sa kanila. Yung iba naman, nag-o-offer ng wholesale para sa makadami sila ng benta. Sikat na sikat yun online.
Ah, kaya pala sikat na sikat yung yung Shopee at Lazada. Kasi kaya ganun. Dito nako-compare yung price at mga product sa mga supplier. Sa Shopee kasi tsaka sa Lazada, nakikita mo yung mga features, nakikita mo yung mga prices o mabababang presyo nila.
Oo, yan yung extranet. Yan ang private electronic network that links company with its supplier and customer. Gaya nga ng sinabi mo, Shopee at Lazada. Dahil dyan, alam mo ba na may 4 major steps ng process of setting the right price? Una, establishing the pricing goal. Pangalawa, estimating demand cost, profit. Pangatlo, choosing a price policy to help determine a base price. At ang panghuli ay ang fine-tuning the base price with pricing tactics.
Ang dami mo naman pala alam, Mare, pero sure ako, hindi mo alam yung 3 main types of price policies.
O sige nga, ano yon?
Ito yung price skimming. It is a firm charge, a higher introductory price, often coupled with heavy promotion. Ito yung mga product na papataas yung presyo. At ang penetration pricing, a firm charge, a relatively low price for a product when it is first rolled out to the market. And yung status quo pricing,
Oops! Alam ko yan. Nabanggit yan ng asawa ko. Yan yung maintain ng existing price or meet the competition prices.
perfect! Exactly!
Pakaaga mo. Nakapagluto ka na ba?
Tangina, sinaig ko!
Ay, pasok na po ako sa trabaho.
Sige, ingat ka ah.
Mauna na po ako.
Sige.
Hey, pre! Diyan ka lang. Kamusta ka na? Okay lang, pare. Ikaw, kamusta ka? Ito, okay lang din naman. Kamusta na yung business mo? Baka pwede mo nang bigyan ng mga tips? Kasi balak namin pagtayo ng catering services ni na mama.
Goods naman ng business, pre. Ito, paunti-unti, umaangat. Kailangan lang talaga maayos yung pagtrato natin sa mga customer natin. At syempre, hindi tayo nanlalamang sa kapwa natin.
Paano mo nagagawang i-manage yan, pre? Sa dami ng mga business ngayon na naglipanan sa market, lalo na yung mga malalaking business. Hindi ba nagkakaroon ng unfair trade kasi madami silang na-offer sa iba?
Hindi naman, pre. Basta tama lang yung pag-set up mo ng price at kaya mong i-maintain ito sa paglipas ng panahon. Meron tayong tinatawag na 4 major areas of pricing. The unfair trade practices, price fixing, price documentation, and predatory pricing.
Unfair Trade Practice Act. This is a law that prohibits wholesalers and retailers from selling below cost. Kasi may mga tendencies na nagtitake advantage yung ibang large firms sa mga small businesses by offering extremely thin profit margins na hindi kayang sabayan ng mga small owner businesses. Price fixing. It is an agreement between two or more firms on the price they will charge for a product. This is applicable sa mga food bazaar. Kung napapansin nyo, pareho sila ng offering, pareho sila ng mga product, at pareho rin sila ng mga price na binibigay sa mga customers, na kung saan nagkakaroon ng fair competition between the businesses. Price documentation refers to the records or paperwork that detail the pricing of goods or services. It includes information such as the cost of production, distribution expenses, taxes, and any other relevant charges. Predatory pricing. It is the practice of charging a very low price for a product with the intent of driving competitors out of business. Kapag na-eliminate na yung mga competitors, kasi hindi na sila makapag-maintain ng mga business nila, monopolize mo na yung market. Tapos, makakapag-raise ka na ng price.
Ganun pala yun. Kaya pala naka-under sila sa legality ng price strategy.
Tama, pre. Ito yung makaka-help sa'yo para makapag-survive ka sa market. Meron din tayong mga tactics for fine-tuning.
Ano naman yung mga yun, pre?
So, sobrang dami, pre. Depende kung ano na yung mga applicable sa business mo.
Sige, pre, handa ako maginig.
Sige, pre, kung mapilit ka, tuturuan kita ng mga variety pricing tactics.
Base price is the typical pricing point at which the business anticipates selling the product or service. Ito yung pinag-uusapan na presyo na walang charges o patong na pinag-uusapan. Ano naman yung quantity discount? Quantity discount is a price break given to customers who purchase more than one unit or for a certain sum of money. Ito naman yung mababang presyo kapag bumili ka ng maramihan. Cumulative quantity discount, a reduction from the list price that is applied to the total amount of purchases that buyer makes over a given time frame. Ito naman yung habang tumatagal yung discount, mas lalong lumalago sa paglipas ng panahon. Ano naman yung non-cumulative quantity discount? It is a list price reduction that is applied to a single order rather than the total number of purchases placed within a specific time frame. Pagbawas ng pangunahing produkto para dumami ang bilang ng resulta ng inventory. Kapag naman cash discount ang pinag-uusapan, ito yung list of price reduction that is applied to a single order rather than the total number of purchases placed within a specific time frame. Isang halimbawa nito ay ang home credit. May matatanggap ka na discount if hindi ka madedelay sa monthly na bayarin mo. Kapag naman functional discount, it is a discount for carrying out channels, functions to wholesalers and retailers. Ito yung uri ng discount na mataas na demand o may mataas na halaga. Seasonal discount. It is a discount for purchasing goods out of season. Lahat tayo alam ang discount nito. Ito yung mga Christmas season, Valentine's, and etc. For example, mamimili ka ng mga damit mo sa mga malls. Makakawar ka ng 50% discount or lower than it, mga 20% discount. Kapag naman sinabi natin promotional allowance or trade allowance, it is an incentive given to a dealer for marketing the manufacturing goods. Isang discount na binibigay ng manufacturer sa isang member para sa effort sa pag-promote ng particular na product. Kapag naman sinabi natin rebate, ito yung financial reimbursement granted for a goods purchased within a certain time frame. For example, sa mga truck driver, May nagastos sila like toll gate, then yung mga nagastos nila sa mga gas o mga babayaran nila sa company. Sagot ng company yon basta may mga receipt sila na ipapakita sa company. Value-based pricing, deciding on a price that when compared to the cost of other options appears to the consumer to be reasonable. FOB or region pricing demands that the purchaser pay for freight from the shipping point. FOB means free on board. Uniform delivered pricing, a pricing strategy where the vendor covers the real transport expenses and charges a single, uniform freight charge to each buyer. Zone pricing, a variation on uniform delivered pricing where all customers within a zone are charged a flat freight rate and the US or the entire market is divided into segments or zones. Freight absorption pricing. It is a pricing strategy when the supplier does not pass on the true freight costs to the consumer or customers, instead paying all or part of them. Basing point pricing, a pricing strategy that levies freight from a specified basing point independent of the city where the goods are being shipped. How about single price tactic? A pricing strategy that sets the price of all products and services at 1 or maybe 2 or 3. Flexible pricing, or what we call variable pricing, a pricing strategy wherein various consumers pay varied amounts for nearly identical goods purchased in equal quantities. And when we say price lining, it is the act of providing a product line that includes multiple things at various price points. Leader pricing, or what we call loss leader pricing, a pricing strategy when a product is offered close to or even cheaper than its actual value in the hopes that customers will purchase additional goods while they are bait pricing. Bait pricing, a pricing strategy that uses high pressure to sell induced customers to purchase more expensive goods after luring them into the store with deceptive or misleading price advertising. Odd-even pricing or psychological pricing, a pricing strategy that implies quality with even-numbered prices and discounts with odd-numbered ones. What about price bundling, offering a reduced price for combining 2 or more products in a single package? Two-part pricing, a pricing strategy that charges 2 different prices for the same commodity or service. And consumer penalty is a given additional cost that the customer must pay for breaking the terms or purchase agreement.
Dami naman palang tactics na pwedeng i-apply sa iba't ibang uri ng business. Maraming salamat sa pagtuturo ng mga yan, pre, ha. For sure, marami akong ma-apply sa pagbibusiness na itatayo namin.
Walang ano man, pre. Siya nga pala, oras na kasi. Madami pa akong asikasuhin sa company ko. Maraming salamat, pre.
Sige, mauna na rin ako. Ingat.
Ingat, pare.
Good morning, Dale. Ano naman yung ginagawa mo? Nandiyan na ba si boss? Late na naman ako eh. Napakwento ako sa kaibigan ko.
Hala ka, andyan na si boss. Maaga nga siya ngayon eh. Kanina ka pa nga niya hinahanap.
Nako, budget na naman ako nito.
Alam mo naman na napaka-importante yung trabaho natin, di ba? Lalo na't marami tayong tinutulungan na tao. Mula sa pag-advise at pag-assist sa kanila kung paano nila gagamitin ang pera nila, di ba? Alam mo ba, the service sector plays a crucial role in the US economy and to the whole wide world.
Alam ko naman yan, pre. Kaya nga mahalaga ang service sa marketing, di ba? Kasi tayo ang nagpo-provide sa kanila at tayo din ang nagbibigay ng comfort sa mga needs nila, di ba?
Good. Services are distinguished by 4 characteristics: heterogeneity, inseparability, intangibility, and lastly, perishability. First, goods or products are tangible while the service is intangible, which means that it does not have any physical characteristics. While the goods production and consumption is done differently, it is different when it comes to service. Sa service, both yung production and consumption ay nangyayari at the same time. Additionally, the service can be affected by different factors such as the service provider o ano yung mga na-experience ng customer mula sa service, individual consumption, ano ang perception ng tao sa service na na-experience niya, and location. Yung ino-offer na service is affected and nakadepende sa location. This and many things make service heterogeneous. Also, yung goods or product, na i-store natin siya for a long time. However, in service, hindi siya pwedeng i-store because once the service is consumed, it cannot be stored for another use. Then, every services has different quality. First, search quality. This service quality is paano nakikita or napaperceive ng mga consumer yung isang service depende sa characteristics niya, whether it is good or bad. Second, experience quality. It is based on how a consumer will evaluate a service after experiencing it. Isang example nito is mga salon. Once na nag-inquire ka either haircut or hair color, yung kalalabasan niya dun palang ma-assess yung service after nung experience. And lastly, we have credence quality. Example nito is yung mga procedures or surgeries conducted by a doctor. Yung mga doctor, mas alam nila yung mga service na to kasi they are in that field mismo. That's why kapag after procedure, ina-explain nila sa patient yung procedure and yung outcome para alam nila paano i-assess yung quality.
Ang dami naman palang characteristics ng service, no? Dito sa work, anong quality to?
Naka-under tayo sa credence quality kasi may mga sinusundan ng procedures and steps sa mga customers natin. Talking about service quality, it has 5 components. Reliability, the ability to perform the service dependently, accurately, and consistently. Responsiveness, providing prompt services. Assurance, knowledge and courtesy of employees in their ability to convey trust. Empathy, caring, individualized attention, and tangibles, physical evidence of the service.
Yan, alam ko yan. Minimake sure ko kasi na ino-offer ko yan sa mga clients ko eh. Kaya kaso, hindi may iwasan yung mga problema tulad ng service delivery tsaka iba pang bagay.
Doon na pumapasok yung gap model. Gamit ito, ma-identify natin yung mga discrepancies sa mga business. Meron ng 5 nito eh. Gap 1 is found between customers' expectations and management perceptions of those expectations. Gap 2 is found between management perception of what the customers wants and specifications for service quality. Gap 3 is found between service quality specifications and delivery of the service. Gap 4 is found between service delivery and what the company promises to the customer through external communication. And lastly, Gap 5 is found between customer service expectations and their perception of service performance. To provide an example of a gap model, when a delivery service promises that the other order would have a same-day delivery but didn't met the delivery time, that would be the gap between the service delivery and what the company promises to the customer through external communication that is stated in Gap 4. In simple terms, the gap model is a framework professionals use to analyze customer satisfaction and identify areas for improvement. The use of gap model in businesses can improve service quality, enhance customer satisfaction, and build stronger customer relationships.
Sobrang helpful naman pala ng gap model sa mga business. O sige, puntahan ko muna sa boss ha.
Sige.
Hirap naman mag-start ng business. Ano pa kayang dapat i-consider? Nakaka-frustrate naman. Ito, mukhang informative to.
Hi guys! Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So for today's video, we will be discussing marketing mix for services. So in marketing mix for services, there are what we called 4 P's. The product, the price, the place, and the promotion. Product is what you are selling. Price is how much it costs. Place is where you sell it. And the promotion is how you tell people about it. Considering these factors, businesses can create successful marketing strategies to attract customers and sell their products or services. For example, magtatayo ka ng catering services. Oo, ikaw! Di ba magtatayo ka ng catering services?
Oo.
Ayan, ang una mong dapat malaman is yung mga product na ibebenta mo. Ano yung mga ulam, ano yung mga recipes na ilalagay mo sa menu. Pagkatapos nito, need mong i-identify kung magkano mo ito bebenta sa mga consumer mo. Need mong malaman kung magkano ang mga raw materials na ginastos mo, yung mga cost mo, yung mga expenses mo, para makapag-set up ka ng price na ibebenta mo sa market. Para hindi ka malugi at the same time, affordable ito sa mga target mo. Then, aalamin mo kung saan mo ito itatayo. Siyempre, itatayo mo ito kung saan malapit ang mga target market mo. Pwede ka rin magsagawa ng feasibility study kung magiging okay ba yung napili mong lugar and product. Then lastly, kung paano mo ito ipropromote yung negosyo mo sa ibang tao para mas maging successful yung business mo at mag-grow pa. Pwede ka rin gumawa ng mga posters at i-share ito sa mga social media accounts mo, or pwede ka rin gumawa ng mga promo para mas tangkilikin ng tao ang business mo. Core service, the most basic benefit the consumer is buying. So sa core service, ito yung pinaka-ina-offer mo sa mga customers mo. Supplementary services, a group of services that support or enhance the core service. Supplementary services are additional offerings that support or enhance the core service, making the overall experience more valuable or convenient for the consumer. Mass customization is a strategy that uses technology to deliver customized services on a mass basis. Relationship marketing in services involves attracting, developing, and retaining customers' relationships. There are 4 levels of relationship marketing. Level 1 focuses on pricing incentives. Level 2 uses pricing incentives and social bonds with customers. Level 3 focuses on customization. And Level 4 uses pricing and social bonds and structural bonds to build a long-term relationships. Example of relationship marketing in service is Level 1. Your catering services offers a discount sa mga unang customers mo. Level 2. Ang business ay magbibigay ng mga discounts sa mga regular na client na nag-a-avail ng service mo. And Level 3, pwede ka rin mag-offer ng mga customized menu depende sa preference ng client mo. And Level 4, syempre, kapag nakapagbigay ka ng magandang offer sa mga customer mo and quality yung nabigay mo sa kanila, magkakaroon ka ng loyal customer which you can build a long-term relationships. When it comes naman sa internal marketing sa service, it means treating employees as customers and developing systems and benefits that satisfy their needs. Employees who like their jobs and are happy with the firm they work for more and likely to deliver good services. For example nito, pwede kang magbigay ng free meals sa mga employees mo and mga benefits para mas maging masaya at maging productive ang mga ginagawa nila sa trabaho. Dapat mo din panatilihin ang good managerial skills para hindi maging toxic ang working environment.
Magsa-start kami ng business, kailangan ko munang tanungin sila mama about sa marketing mix. Oh, oras na pala. Mag-time out muna ako. Dito na po ako, Nay. Mano po. Ang dami ko pong natutunan sa araw na to. Simula sa pagsiset-up ng price at saka sa pag-consider ng mga bagay para sa pagtatayo ng business.
Oo nga, Nak. Si Marites din. Madami ding alam sa business na yan. Dami niyang nabalitaan tungkol sa mga nag-uumpisa ng business. Kaya nga dapat aware tayo sa global issues na sa paligid natin para maging proactive tayo sa mga bagay-bagay. Siyempre, ayaw nating mawala agad yung mga pinaghirapan natin. Need din nating mag-adapt sa environment natin para makapag-sustain tayo on the long run.
Tama ka na, Nay. Tara, kumain na tayo. Alam ko pinagluto mo ko ng paborito kong pagkain.
Tara na.
Obs, hindi pa dyan natatapos. Siyempre, i-define din namin kung ano ang non-profit organization marketing. Dale, ano nga ba ang non-profit organization marketing?
Ang non-profit organization marketing is about spreading awareness and gathering support for a good cause without focusing on profit.
It involves telling stories, getting the community involved, and raising funds to make a positive impact on society.
Well, a non-profit organization is a type of entity that operates for purposes other than making a profit. Instead, its primary goal is to serve a particular cause or mission that benefits the society.
These organizations often focus on areas such as charitable work, education, healthcare, environmental conservation, or social advocacy.
Public service advertisement, it is a message or campaign created by non-profit organization or government agency to raise awareness about an important social or public issue announcement.
That's it guys for our report. Sana may natutunan kayo sa aming 1 hour long or 1 hour something video. Ayan, abangan nyo na lang sa amin. Abangan nyo na lang yung report namin guys. So once again, we are the last group for marketing. Bye-bye!
O ano, saan, sino, bakit, sa panong paraan. Minsan, ang swerte mo nasa paligid lang. Ang buhay ay ganyan. Nasa palad mo ang pagbabago ng takbo. At walang mangyayari kung hindi mo susubukan. Magbukas ka ng isipan, kahit talo may natututunan. Di mo lang alam at di mo maintindihan. Lahat ng nangyayari sa buhay natin ay may kanya-kanyang dahilan.
Oh, sinasabi ko sa inyo, bilhin nyo na tong iced coffee na to.
Ano ba? Ayaw niya? Mawalakas ang kumita, bilhin nyo na to!
Kapit naman doon. O, di ba? Mainit yung panahon. Mag-ice coffee na